Well, I want to welcome everybody, both ringside and online, to the 2025 Symposium preview. First and foremost, before we get started with that, I got to give a thank you to Jamie and Dina and their crew here at Blue Team Weathers for hosting us and allowing us to preview the does here in their facility. We've got beautiful weather today and a big crowd online, a big crowd here watching from ringside. A few housekeeping things if you're just now getting on and wondering how this today's going to play out. The does we're going to preview here. The consigners are going to talk their own lots here and give their thoughts on them. Once this preview's done, the does will remain here throughout the day. If you want to trickle in as you get into town and come see them, just do so. The does will be here in the sale barn at Blue Team. And then we will reconvene this evening at 5 o'clock at the Brownwood Event Center there in town. And we'll start at 5 o'clock with a social and hospitality hour, and there right at 6. Our panel will talk through the entire catalog, both live and genetic lots. We'll talk through those things there starting at 6 o'clock, and then get started right around 5:30. I want to thank everybody who's helped us with that there this evening. At the event center, we'll have obviously bar service, hospitality, and a full spread from Jerry Silver's there at La Cabra Meat Company. So come hungry and thirsty, and won't probably leave the same way. Got an exceptional set here of live lots. We're about 50-50, I think, on live lots versus genetic lots, and a very eclectic, I'd say, offering of what we have to start. Our first consigner here through the ring be Smithwick Genetics, my buddy John Smithwick there from Lubbock, Texas. This will be lot 46, tag 24092.
This is one that's mother's been really influential at our program, being a triple line bred. Mozart has been a female. It's a little older in her pedigree, but one that we've utilized for several years. Her father is going to be a line bred blindside, one we raised there at the house too, who's made a killer set of keeper females for me and several daughters that I plan to retain and utilize in the flush program this fall. Study this thing's extension and her elegance and her flexibility off either side of her skeleton, or tremendous loin edges, but still being smooth and graceful in the way that her shoulder lays on her massive center body there. I'm going to keep my descriptions pretty brief so we can move on through these following lots. I don't want to take up all the time. But this is one that's really got me excited genetically and phenotypically, and one that I think could really fix some skeletal issues in a program that's got a lot of power and mass and body. This thing could really fix your angles off either side and give you a touch more look there in terms of silhouette from the side.
Okay, again, that's lot 46, tag 24092, yearling doe from Smithwick Genetics. And what we'll do here, we'll get a sale order, exact sale order lined out before this evening, and that'll be posted on CCI as well as on all the channels that the sale previews through. They'll be referenced by lot order, but they won't sell accordingly. So we'll just make sure that you take notes based off your catalog. We also have the preview available on the Livestock Marketing Group, and the whole catalog and all the animals are there. Which one do you have here, John?
This would be lot 45. This is one that her grandmother on her maternal side is one of our original foundation donors and was one of the most heavily utilized females in my program. Her sire, Getting Tipsy, is my original Tree Shaker cross son. I've had several daughters enter the donor pen, making a high-selling wether for me at Fever a couple years ago, and making some of my more popular wethers in the beginning of my program. He's gotten a little older, so we've chosen to utilize him a little less, but when I was going through in the spring and picking, or a couple years ago in spring, picking matings, I knew I needed to try to create another Tipsy daughter that was worthy of being flushed and worthy of being utilized by somebody potentially other than myself. And I think this one hits all those boxes. She's super moderate and bold and dimensional in her body shape, but still super square and appropriate off either end of her body. This thing's got a really consistent pedigree. Her mother and sire have worked for me really, really well. And I just think this thing's got the phenotype to go out there and compete and match with them as well. Another one that I have a lot of faith in and put a lot of value in on my end.
Thank you, John. Again, that was lot 45, tag 24155 from Smithwick Genetics. This would be lot 47, tag 24170.
This individual is actually a repeat mating of an identical mating I did the year prior, and I don't do that very often. Her dad is a buck we call Easy. He shares a mother with Caught You Looking, who sired several banner hangers there for me at that Angelo Doe deal and has made a bunch of pretty competitive ones for me. Easy's been really underutilized, but his females have definitely left an impact on our program. We flushed an Easy daughter last year to Timeless, and she actually created that $10,000 weather consignment that we sold at Red Raider Classic this spring there in Lubbock. So like I said, I have several of those Easy daughters, and I plan to keep them and utilize them throughout my program for years to come. So the bottom side on this one is going to be a shooter bloodline that goes back to some original does we purchased from Alan Morgan in the beginning. That shooter female was flushed pretty heavily in the beginning of our program and made me a bunch of really hard-muscled, exotic, real waspy type doe kids. This thing's definitely carrying a lot of body mass that she gets from that Easy side of her pedigree, and I think she'll breed true to that width and capacity and spread. This thing's very, very impressive down her top and coming and going just in terms of base width and skeletal correctness and being right in her angles off either side of her body.
Again, that's lot 47, tag 24170, a virgin yearling from Smithwick Genetics. Then here we have lot 48, another yearling doe, tag 24095, untouched reproductively from Smithwick Genetics.
Another my husband's home daughter, and like I mentioned earlier, he is a double-bred blindside. We really like that shot of blindside there on the top side in terms of making them really hard-muscled and crazy in their loin edges and really waspy and late-patterned in their maturity. And I think this is one that definitely hits all those expectations. Really, really hard and lean and ripped up and super expressive. I think this thing is going to breed and be able to put a lot of touch and just impact there in terms of muscle tone and texture there in her progeny. She is a touch leaner than her contemporaries today, but I think that just speaks to the rate of her metabolism and how ripped up and hard she is in terms of tone and texture. I love the angles and the smoothness of this one, but again, this is one that I think would really be able to do a lot for somebody who's trying to improve touch and muscle texture in their genetics.
Thank you, John. Again, that's lot 48, yearling doe 24095 from Smithwick Genetics. And then I believe we have lot 49 coming in from Smithwick Genetics here. No tag. She'd be out of a tree shaker son. Lot 49 from Smithwick Genetics.
This is another really interesting one that we go ahead and decided to bring because she's just simply a conversation piece for all the visitors at the farm. They all ask the same question: what is that big, stout-legged, fuzzy one running around in the keeper doe kid pen? And so I'd pull her out and explain that this is a sloppy daughter, sloppy sired, several of my most successful doe kids in the past, and we've utilized them and flushed them. Sloppy is a touch older, so we don't get very many out of him, and actually this is the only doe kid we got out of this December set last year. The bottom side of her pedigree is going to be a complete outcross. She's actually a percentage full-blood type that we bought. We saw a lot of promising features in, and I think this carries over into her progeny here. This doe is absolutely massive in terms of her frame and size and dimension. She's easily one of the largest footed and fuzziest ones that I've ever decided to let go of This one's very impressive in terms of having those ESTs. Super freakish and out there in her look and style, but still presents me with characteristics that let me think that she'll be able to function reproductively. She is really soft in her flank and feminine there in her body type. So this is one that I think has a lot of promising, fascinating features, but that still has the ability to go out into your production scenario and function in terms of reproduction capability.
Thanks, John. Again, that's lot 49, the no-tag doe from Smithwick Genetics. And that'll wrap up Smithwick set on who we have coming next. Sunnybrook coming up next here. But really appreciate John for coming in here. And Dallas and Cammie Shropshire coming next from Sunnybrook Show Goats from Oklahoma. They got a live lot and a genetic lot. We will talk that genetic lot there in detail this evening, and it is something that's really exciting. Make sure you look through that lot 52 choice of their bred recips with up to 1, 2, or 3 times the money for the number of recips you want. And then they've got a really, really good bred doe coming here in lot 51, tag SB16.
Well, thank you, Kevin. I'll keep it pretty short and sweet here. SB16 would be a ladies' man Caesar doe that we raised, one that we're pretty fond of, and for good reason. This one, when I look at this one, I just think, wow, that one's got some wild shape. That one is whiskey barrel caged. She handles like a linebacker down the backside of her skeleton and still gets out and goes. As an added bonus, that one is confirmed bred to our 2025 Keeper Buck Creature of Habit, and the due date on that is October 5th.
Thanks, Dallas. Pretty brief on your commentary there, but I think the stock looks really, really nice. Again, confirmed bred to the I Am the Way son that they kept this last season called Creature of Habit. That's lot 51 from Sunnybrook Show Goats. We got Synergy coming up next, and Kojo's doe. This one's got a pretty neat option here on what they're going to offer to us here. Let me find her in the catalog, sorry. Lot 43 from Synergy Livestock. Here's Kojo.
First off, we want to thank you for the opportunity to be here. When Caden asked me what we had yearling doe side, on the side of things, a little bit closer. Is that better? Sorry about that. It was pretty easy to go out to the donor pen and find a doe that we thought fit the mold to be here. This one's doe family is the foundation of who we are and what we're doing. They're really consistent every time we flip them upside down and flush their bellies. We really like the way this one's built, especially when it comes to our front third. As lined up as this one's pedigree is, we think she's really easy to mate and really easy to outcross, as well as work with the bucks we have in our program. That's why we offered the double down option to flush her with us and hopefully make some more goats that rival her siblings and who she is. Thank you.
So I know this one's been around the barn. She's a little gentle blaze if you can get her pushed out to the middle. But again, this one does sell with a double down option. So the way we'll sell this particular doe tonight is hammer price buys the doe. You can do what you want with her. Double the hammer price buys the doe in her entirety, plus a turnkey flush package with up to 5 recips included in that, and they'll pay for the flush services, the meds, the vet work, and provide up to 5 recips. As a part of that, if she makes more than 10, then you can actually purchase more recips there on flush day. But really cool opportunity. She's a clout back on a double bred P67, and then has a neon lights, great grand dam there on the bottom side, backing that deal up. So obviously genetics that work for people, that people around ringside, I think, have had a lot of success with, and ones that on the maternal side of things have really had a big impact in the industry. I think this is one of the premier lots in the sale, in my opinion. She is gentle and not just kicking off in there, but I mean one that is sound and big barreled and big hipped, and also sells with a pretty neat twist there with the double down option to flusher there, and you can kind of decide what you want to do and that would be to Stone Cold or Slim Shady, I believe. So anyway, get with Kojo if you have questions on that. Lot 43 from Synergy Livestock. Well, here's Levi, Criswell Genetics, and man, we were real excited to see this thing on the stand there this morning when we got here to Blue Teams, and she was being washed. Really, really neat doe kid here. Younger than some of them, I think, high quality, has an expensive look. This is lot 24, tag 25231 from Criswell Genetics.
Thanks, Kevin. This is one of the Robin Hoods we made last year. We didn't get to use them a whole lot. But what we did make was really, really good. And I think of those, this is my favorite one. We wanted to bring the best, so we did. She's the most extended, the best up front of any of our Robin Hoods, and she still has all the power and squareness out of her hip that he made for us, and she's really, really fuzzy. That doe was 6th overall in the junior show at Ohio State Fair in the slick, so we did slick her off a month ago, and then she was 4th overall the next day in the open deal. We had some beater. That's still my favorite one, though. That's the one that I was the most excited about to probably go ahead and flush this fall or next year, so we wanted to bring her and offer her to the public. She's a Thanksgiving.
Well, I think a very, very nice one here. And, man, I've got all my notes here on lot 24. She looks like she's still got some showtime left in her. We've got a lot of shows coming up here early spring for Texas and Oklahoma. I think this doe's got still some show future in her, if that was your forte, and then definitely needs to hit the table. I think this doe's really, really good. Lot 24 from Criswell. Well, here's Church, I believe, with his live consignment. You know what lot you are, Church? Towards the back, he said. Lot 40, tag 2430, Kill the Noise from Church Livestock. I know he's been real high on this one kind of throughout her show career. She looks really nice.
Yeah, brought a Kill the Noise daughter here, one that, like Kevin said, was shown pretty successfully last spring for a buddy up there in Oklahoma. Gathered quite a few trinkets on the Jackpot Series, and then was bronze overall at the Southwest District, and won her class there at OYE. Got a flushmate sister to this one. That was the Grand Doe at the Woodward District there in Oklahoma, and then she also won her class at OYE. Wanted to bring one of the pair. This so happened to be the one that I got told to bring by the higher-ups there now in Arkansas, but one I'm really proud of. I like this one's head and skull and ear set there. Specifically, this one's shape really hits me hard. I like the way she's built out of the backside of her blade. Really has a lot of punch and dimension when you study her from behind or from a three-quarter angle. I know there's lots of bucks on the market right now that kind of cover her, maybe where she needs a little help in terms of bone and fur a little bit, but mated right, and I think this one makes a high-end weather prospect.
Well, one from a firm and a crew that have had just lots of success there in the Southwest and Midwest and across the country. And believe me, they know what these does have to look like to perform in the show ring and then raise wethers. I think they brought one that can do both of those, and a really, really nice one here. Lot 40 from Church Livestock. Looks like we got Falkenstein here next, and Luke's here to talk his single entry, this paint doe. I'll get you a lot number here in just a second. I know she's an I Am the Way, and one that Luke has kind of had on his radar to bring to the symposium here for a little bit. He called me there a couple of weeks ago and said, man, I haven't really brought a yearling here and just haven't really thought with where we were at in our program that it was quite the right time from a growth standpoint to sell one, and I think I got one. This doe is lot 8, tag 25058, and I'm the Way from Falkenstein Show Goats. If you haven't seen how those I'm the Ways have done at the state fair run here this last few weeks, I guess you hadn't been to many of the state fairs because they've won plenty of them. Here's Luke.
Thanks, Kevin, again for the opportunity. And like he said, I Am the Way might be one of the hottest bucks in the industry right now. And I think this doe just portrays everything that he puts stamps on his entire prospects. This one's Grandam was her number was 1975, and that female at my house has been one of the cornerstones. Actually, she literally created Cornerstone, and she's just been one of the standouts. Just as producing good ones endless over and over and over again. She always stamps that extremely long giraffe neck, and her front 1/3 is just amazing. And the way they use their hip and hind leg and the way their cage sits in them is just absolutely something that I adore. And I think this female just really portrays where I want my program to be and where we are looking to go more towards in the future. This one's been on my radar for a while, and I've really, really liked it. And I just can't wait to see what her endless opportunities can be for anybody in the future.
Thanks, Luke. Again, I Am the Way, Daddy Issues, Tall Cans, and I Am the Way kind of just hitting his stride as a sire. Didn't probably get quite as much early use as we projected there at KM, and then after a few people saw the offspring, he got a lot of use this last summer, and those things are showing now and doing really, really well. That doe's doing a good job. The Daddy Issues of mating on the bottom side of those things there at Luke's and Trent's has been very, very good. Kind of something I wish I'd have got on that train early, so I had more of those daddy daughters. And then back, like you said, back to the Tall Cans grandma that kind of started that foundation program thing for them. Really, really good one here. Falkenstein Show Goats, lot 8, tag 25058. Well, as you turn to your catalog, and if you're like me and you're multi-screening on your computer, find Morgan Livestock's lots. They're bringing those up next. Looks like we've got tag 4018 here from Morgan Livestock to start off their offering. We got Glenn Martin is going to talk these again. This will be lot 30, tag 4018 from Morgan Livestock.
Well, I told Alan and Caden I'd visit about their does that they brought. An exceptional offering there from Morgan Livestock here. And the lot 30 doe is just wild built in terms of her neck, and one that has the generating look up front. Big hip, big pen, great rib kind of female. I walked in the pen and wrote freak by her, and I think that's her look up front. She's a Fugazi on top. And that mom would be a full sib to the Capital Gains buck that they have there, one that's worked exceptionally well. You can tell they run them like goats, and hadn't been petting on this one much, but that one's got functional feet and legs, a body cavity, and a ditch in her back to go with it. Still feminine up front, high-quality stock there comes from Morgan Livestock. That's lot 30, tag 4018.
Yeah, I thought this set from Alan when they unloaded them here in the alley this morning. I said, man, those do look really, really nice. And as she kind of makes her way out, you'll get that rear view of her, and she's got a monster hip and pin set. This is a January 2024 model. She's a full sister to Capital Gains, been flushed once as a maiden, went 8 for 8, which is encouraging. Lot 30, tag 4018 from Morgan Livestock. Here's ear tag 4036 from Morgan Livestock. Lot 31, a yearling doe. We'll let Glenn give his comments. Lot 31, tag 4036.
Well, really stout skulled one here, and she's a Frank Lieutenant Dan. Bred stout and feminine still. I wrote brood cow in my notes, just the kind that you like to see in terms of flexibility, big feet, density. Center of her body's exceptional. She's one that has the productive look there, blade back, and one that I feel like could fit a number of bucks that are out there. She's not a small one either. That one's got some size and some growth to her. I love her stoutness of skull. I like the feature in this one, just like that body type. And like I said, her flexibility is exceptional. Brood cow type donor prospect there in lot 31, tag 4036.
I think Glenn makes a comment on this one that she's a nickel bigger. And, man, I actually think where we're kind of at in today's day and time in the industry, I think that's a real positive because some of these things are getting a little on the small side, in my opinion, as you travel across the country and see them sell and show. This one looks a lot like her picture, guys. She's big, she's wide, she's level, she's feminine, she's sound. She's a March 2024 model, then flushed one time and went 7 for 7. Here's tag 4148, lot 32 from Morgan Livestock in April 2024 yearling. Real nice one here. Got a great big back I can see from the stage. Lot 32, tag 4148.
Yeah, this one's got exceptional punch and squareness going away in terms of width of pin set. She's got the jumbo back from the top, and she probably has just a little more ring presence, awareness up front. She's a little cockier there, got the right kind of look at the back side of her neck, and one that's still exceptionally big-bodied, bold in terms of her center and her chest. There's just lots of quality. She comes probably a little more moderate in terms of her size comparative to the other two that we had out. She's mainstay bred there at Morgan Livestock. That's a good eye, crazy horns, Rico. So she's line bred to be stout, exceptional looking up front, one that's still very, very functional in terms of feet and leg placement and joint angles. We like that one quite a bit, lot 32, tag 4148.
Again, April 2024, flushed one time and goes 8 for 8, lot 32. I believe next would be lot 33. And what we're actually going to show you here is the 4051 donor. We're going to sell a bred recip out of this doe and then out of the pin drop promo buck that made such a big splash when he sold there this spring, and I know it's had a really big summer. This is really an impressive looking deal here. Again, what we're doing with this particular lot is we're selling a confirmed bred recip out of this doe, bred to pin drop. Those things are surely to be high profile when it comes time to market those things.
Well, really unique offering here from Morgan Livestock and selling the pregnant recip out of this particular female, 4051. And if you've been to Allen's and you've pilfered through the does, you've probably seen this one and asked about her. I think everybody that goes is asked about the big caged, freak muscled one that's a stout and still has the right kind of look and neck and presence when you get out from around her. And this is her. She is a Frank tag team. They're going to put that embryo in, and that's out of that pin drop buck that we bought into. And we just love the opportunity here, thinking this one could generate you the next stud buck you need or the next female to go on, and maybe you want to weather that guy and go win you a weather show. They've done that plenty there at Morgan Livestock, but really good opportunity. Wild looking, exceptional width, shape, and cage, and still real tucked up in her chest and her breastplate. One that's exceptional and going to be the donor mom of this embryo, this bred recip embryos that you get. Good stock right there from Morgan Livestock. That's going to be lot 33. The mom there is tagged 4051.
They've got a really exciting, as this doe kind of exits the preview ring, they've got a really exciting genetic offering they're going to sell in lot 29. Make sure you study there. We're actually going to sell tonight. Allen, the clone buck, in his entirety, he's going to convey with full interest in possession. The DNA cell line at Transova, 25 straws of frozen semen, and all the standing orders on the bucks. So that will be their non-present genetic lot. Will be Allen selling in his entirety as lot 29. Definitely a sell highlight there this evening. Well, next we have the choice pair from Evans Livestock, and this is something I've probably got a lot of pressure on my back on this deal because last year Brandon and Larry and I walked through things and kind of starting to get a plan for this, and I planted the bug in their ear, honestly not thinking they would do it, and not saying I would have done it, but you never find out if you don't ask. On selling one or two of these does. And so what we're doing here, these are the champion does last year from Georgia. In lot 19, we're going to sell choice of tag 376 and tag 422. They would be carry the boats and carry on. These are proven champions, proven donors. They looked apart. They performed at the highest level. And I want to thank the Evans crew for bringing this pair of does. I'll let Brandon talk about them, but again, we're going to sell choice tonight in lot 19 of this pair of champions from Evans Livestock.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, it definitely hurts a little bit to pull these out of the pasture and start washing on them and clipping on them because that is the kind that we're trying to raise. And definitely got lucky because Georgia's not an easy one to win, especially with this man standing here behind me. They have a bunch of good stock out there, and those folks do a good job out in that part of the world. But I wanted to give something different, throw it out there, and I don't know that we'll ever be able to do it again where we can have champions in the same year. But talk about the 376 doe. That would be a Boat's daughter back over a Whistle doe. That'd be 43 donor. She also had a reserve division this last February. That one's mother did. That one goes 14 for 14 this past fall with RSG doing the work. We did not breed her back because it was late in the year. She sells one for 10. I got 2 on feed at my kids' barn. We've got several females out being shown right now out of that one. And we flushed her to Progressive, so trying to line up that boat still because we like what it's been doing for us quite a bit. The 422 doe, the wild-looking creature, I wrote in the comments about how I smiled every time I get to talk about her and see her. That one is the biggest, shapeliest backed one running around. She's been on straight doe feed. We pulled her in about 30 days ago just so that we could try to have a little bit of hair on them. And the limestone rocks don't do too good on their feet and legs as far as making sure that they're good and sound all the way through. But that one's pretty special, too. She'll be a GT on the bottom side and then carry on the top. Carry on sired. We also had the reserve there in October. That would be a carry on. We have the reserve weather at San Antonio. That'd be a carry on. So both of them would be a Boats derivative on both of those girls. Take one. We'd be happy to take the other one back home, but wanted to bring a special lot and one that means a lot to us and see what she can do for somebody else down the road.
I think that's kind of indicative of what we try to do at the symposium, and guys reaching out there into their program, and the consigners that do or have been rewarded for doing so, and the people that buy them have reaped the rewards as well. So, man, this is a really exciting deal. Lot 19, choice in these Georgia champs, ripe for the peach picking here in Lot 19. If you're watching online, again, we'll start this evening with hospitality hour and social there, 5 o'clock at the Brownwood Event Center. at 6 o'clock. Our panel will begin discussing and talking through the entire offering, talk the entire catalog, genetic and live lots as well. We'll talk through those. We'll have a bar service and a meal and whatnot, and we'll try to get the sale started as close to 7:30 as we can. If you're not able to be here in person, make sure you replay and watch through the catalog or the preview today. And then, as always, with all of our events, we'll have online bidding available through CCI.live, courtesy of Kennedy Ventures. Here's Brandon with lot 20, tag 455.
So this would be a Burn the Boat's daughter. She'd be a flush mate to a buck we made called Afternoon Larry. His rookie season, he averages over 5,500 on his weathers. Females have been really good. Kevin saw this doe and about 4 of her other mates as babies, and he said those look expensive. I didn't listen to him. I hung on to all of them and sent them out and let them get shown. They had a pretty successful run with her and her sisters. We've got 3 flush mates at home where she wouldn't be here today. This one to me was the more exotic looking one out through her front end. Her big, stout, rugged. Her mother would win State Fair of Texas back in 23, I believe, for the Lacasio family. And she'd be a cracker on the bottom side, which was a whistle son for us. But we really like these stout, moderate females that Burn the Boats have been making for us there in Vernon.
Well, I spend quite a bit of time there at Evans and roll through there every few weeks and get to see a lot of their goats. And, man, they are consistently making them dimensional, big-legged, shaggy, big-backed, and stout from their head to their tail, and I think this one does that. He is right. This was one expensive-looking baby goat, and she's matured accordingly. Nice stock. Thank you, Brandon, for those offerings. Just Lane and Brody? Just Lane and Brody? The one we got coming here, Bread Dough from Hoffman Brothers. Single entry consignment here, and always glad to do business with those guys and good friends and incredible stockmen. We've got one here that I know they dug into their female battery to bring us in their single entry here from Hoffman Brothers. Here's Brody going to do the talking, looks like.
We've got a Keep the Faith doe here, Keep the Faith Pocket Change 81. The bottom side of that pedigree, lot 21, sorry. The bottom side of that pedigree has done a lot of good at our house. We've got a lot of females with the same bottom side of that pedigree. This doe is just really stout in her head shape and her skull, her big chested, huge in terms of her body shape, big down her top. In terms of one just being really big, genuine, opened up and square, we like that one quite a bit. She was AI'd to Robin Hood there at Hoffman Livestock the first part of July. A buck that we really like in terms of his stoutness. He's on the short list of the ones that Cade and Jamie have made up there in that buck sale they have every year. She's been flushed once. I think she made 10 out of 14 last year. So one that we really like, one that's proven, one that's got a lot of good to her. I think if that baby hits the ground, it'd be a lot of good.
Yeah, this is Halfman Brothers, lot 21, Keep the Faith, Pocket Change 81, Bread Dough. Personally got to see this one as a baby whenever I was down there in Garden City. She made a short little trip up to Oklahoma for a little bit as a little show doe prospect. Always been out there on the edge and has a lot of wild pieces about her. Exciting Bread Dough here from the brothers. Like I said, lot 21.
It's pretty good, wasn't it? Up next, we got Stork Livestock. Thanks to Lane and Brody for bringing that doe. That thing is wide, good neck, three-dimensional, The bottom side of that, I mean, I think across the board, I don't know that you can dispute, still talking about the Hoffman Brothers lot, but all the way back, she's a Keep the Faith pocket change, 81. I think $3 that have done an exceptional job in making the next generation better in terms of their daughters. And in that one, selling bread to Robin Hood, a buck that looks like the industry probably lost too soon. So get onto that deal. That was lot 21 from Lane and Brody from Hoffman Brothers. Here's 17 and 18 from Stork Livestock, and making once again what we did when we started talking about the symposium, talking about what we were going to do. We went into the keeper stud of December's last week or 2 weeks ago, and as burly and hairy as they are, I think the only bath they've ever had is the day that Bo and I pictured them. And today, Macon said, sorry, don't want to rent that, but I'm saying these things have been outside in open air environment. They have not been babied. This is a pair of them that I think very, very highly of. We kind of went back and forth on how we thought the best way to sell them was. They're not exactly similar, even though they're flushmate sisters. So what we're going to do, and I'll let Macon talk to Doze and what he thinks about them, and then we'll kind of reconvene there this evening at 6, and I'm sure it'll take a little bit of time. But what we're going to do here, if you're ringside or watching online, we're actually going to sell choice of these does when they come through the ring for the first time. And then the second lot, if the buyer doesn't do the smart thing and take them both, the second lot will then sell down the sell order in kind of order fashion. So we will choice these does in the first time we bring them across the block this evening. This is lot 17 and 18, 4222 and 4238. If you're watching online, you can't read the ear tag numbers. The slightly bigger outline one will be 4222. She's lot 17. 4238 is lot 18. Here's Make.
Well, as Kevin said, we brought a pair of mate sisters here that we're going to choice, and I mean the reason we decided on that is obviously there's some slight differences in type and kind between them, but at the end of the day, I feel quality is very, very similar and very compatible there. I think where you make your decision is maybe what bucks you've got available or laying around, or what direction you need your program to go. But definitely a pair that from doe kids on, I mean these have been exciting. They've been popular. Been proud to have them around. You know, the smaller doe we actually there at one point had laid in there to go to the exclusive, and I didn't feel like she was quite 100% ready and going then, and definitely not one we wanted to sell till the time was right to maximize value. And we thought this would be the right place and time to debut these. So genetically, these two would be Caribou Lou. Mother would be a Carry the Boat. So she would actually be a mate sister to Burn the Boats. And then her mate sister would be the mother to Hold the Lights. So a doe that's young. This is her first flush here. We flushed her again. They're actually back to Hold the Light to line that deal up again for this summer set. We would have had a real popular whether we sold at the collaboration for a pile, and then also our Friday night female would have been out of that doe. So she's 2 flushes in. Proud of what she's doing and proud of the direction we're headed. Like this pair a bunch, and dang sure proud to have them here. So thank y'all.
Well, again, you can always count on Make to kind of set the bar for quality and what he's going to bring when he comes out publicly. And I think this pair definitely does that. Really, really love these things. Lot 17 and 18 from Stork Livestock. Again, we'll choice these when they come across the block this afternoon. Colonel, make sure you take those notes down. Up next, I believe this is Bob Allen's single entry Allen Ranch, and we'll have Glenn Martin talk those as a consultant. This is lot 34, tag 4002 from Bob and Bill Allen there, Allen Ranch. They've brought yearlings to this event since, I guess, inception of it, huh, Glenn? 12 years ago, I guess, when we first originally branded it as the Fiesta. And, man, those things, you can count back through the years how people have got along with those and what they've done with them. Trent buys one here last year from Allen's, and it makes his leadoff male there at Friday Night Fever, and then I think his third or fourth one through the ring at Friday Night Fever that we actually bought and have on feed in our crew. And there were some Sib sisters at home that look high rent. So these things definitely work for people. A little different speed maybe than Bob usually sends to town, just in terms of muscle. Let Glenn talk about them. Lot 34.
Well, thank you, Kevin. And Bob and Bill Allen have a special place there in the industry for making females that generate. And I tell you, they brought us one here, and one that is a little different just in terms of the amount of shape and muscle density that they have. This one's a little more moderate in framework, a little stouter in terms of her body cavity and her punch, and I think one that Bob felt real comfortable with bringing her in terms of her pedigree and where she fit from a generating standpoint for whomever ends up with her. She is out of a buck of theirs they raised out of Popeye, their fuzzy handcuff son. They call that buck Who's Next. And then her mother is a hidden treasure, Mini Heat. So when you talk about generating potential just from the pedigree itself, there's a lot of quality there. This thing ought to have hair dripping, and you know, if you've ever had the opportunity to go to Allen Ranch up there on the divide south of Junction, there's no way that they can be furry coming out this time of year off that mountain. But they brought us one here. Bob likes her, and I'd say the ability to generate from this farm and to actually be a seed stock producer within this industry is pretty much unparalleled. Somebody's going to be the lucky winner, one that's going to generate extremely good for him. That's Allen Ranch 4002, lot 34.
Guess I would kind of comment here and didn't do so with Church's lot, but kind of as this becomes a little more of a team sport, there's some of these guys involved here as consigners and consultants here that I think there's also some added value in buying one that they want to buy offspring out of, and I think you could say that on this one. I think if a guy buys this one or buys one of those churches or from any of these consigners, you know, a lot of these guys buy goats for people too, don't just raise them, and I think they're going to want to feed out of a doe like this as well. Nice one from Bob Allen, lot 34. As Jade's first live lot comes in, want to make note of their genetic lot that'll come through tonight that we'll discuss more in detail. Big time opportunity, I think, in lot 35 from Jade Bowers, and that'll be pick of their December 2025 doe kid crop. Big opportunity there. I know that was a popular lot there last year. Those things go on and perform and win for people. And I can tell you, if you try to buy them on showgoats.com, when they have their doe kid offerings, they're not easy to buy, and rightfully so. So lot 35 tonight will be pick of their doe kids. We bring them in order. Is this 4122? This is lot 38. Okay. Bad eyes up here on the block, so moving target, I can't really read. Here's lot 38, tag 4269, December 2024 coming yearling from Jaden Bowers.
Well, we've got one here a little younger than we normally bring, but we thought exceptional quality. Love the flexibility of skeleton, love the elevated look and the elegance. Extremely soft in terms of her joint work, awesome in her flexibility, both at the surface and at her spine. She's one of those that's got the look over the fence look, as I call it, and we dig that one quite a bit. We're trying to bring females that look like females and females that generate real quality stock and quality wethers, and a lot of times our females don't look like wethers, but they make good wethers, and here's one of those that we're pretty enamored with, just with her look and the way she carries herself. This is a Kiss the Ring. That's a Make It Rain son pickup man. That Make It Rain is as stout and wide and dense as they come, and that Kiss the Ring has been awful good for us this last 12 months. We've really enjoyed having them. Her mom is an original 81 Holscher. And I think not just phenotype, but genotype to generate and be a true female. That one shows what she's got here in the ring. We like that one quite a bit. She is not shapeless either. If you can get on top of her, that thing's ditched up and grooved up. She's got the side shape, still real square and high end. We like that one quite a bit. That's 4269, lot 38.
I think there's you can let her out. Well, there's does for sale every day, either online or live auction or private treaty or whatever. I think one of the things you can come to the symposium and participate is try to buy something that can move the needle or make a difference. And I know as a guy that sells lots and lots of goats through our live and online platforms, there's a lot of goats that need that nanny goat because they're not flexible enough and their spine sets too high in them. And that one there, I think, can make a difference if you're needing to add some of that or fix some issues. Without investing, mid 5 to 6 figures into a buck to change it, maybe you can buy you a donor that can change it and mate her to your buck. So that one's really, really neat. What do we have here, Blaze? Ear tag. 4026, lot 37, another March 2024 yearling from Jaden Bowers.
Well, admittedly, with no intention of selling this particular doe, she got her 2 baths in her life as well. Been running out in front of the house. This one, pretty special to us. We call her the red flank doe. People have called and asked about her, and I just say, oh, you're talking about the one with the red flank. She's a Powerball Losers Weepers cash in. Powerball is also a Losers Weepers son, and here's one that we've lined up that pedigree, so it's line bred, and we think she can absolutely generate. Very wide underneath, very sound and flexible, still shapely, still feminine, one that carries more punch than some that we brought to town before, and still really good heighted, touch is good for one that age and maturity pattern. And I'd say all of these does, both Bob's doe, the Allen Ranch doe, and these we brought, those are unmolested yearlings, counting the doe kid there that we just had in. So it's kind of a get in where you fit in, flush or breed. We haven't done that to any of them. We brought what to town, what we thought would make generating donors for you. And here's another one in this red flank doe. That's 4026. Lot 37.
Oh, that one from kind of the elevated view we've got here on the block. Man, she's wide, starting there in her skull and through the forepart of her body. She's wide there to last rib and continues progressing back into a big hip. Really like that, though. Density, body shape, and stoutness. I like that one a whole bunch. Lot 37, tag 4026 from Jaden Bowers. I guess we'd have lot 36 coming next. Be tagged 4122. Man, this one sure caught my eye back there in the back in the pins here at Blue Team. Again, lot 4122 or tag lot 36 from Jaden Bowers, a June 2024 coming yearling.
Well, the reality is, once again, we really like this one. She's a clean-teated female. Here's one that's very, very square at both ends of her skeleton. And the reason she came is that is a goat petter's dream. That's one of those that's by maturity shouldn't handle still like she does. And we've got a lot of people that want to feel the shape, feel the edge of the loin and how it blends. And we brought one that does that. Not only is she powered up and elegant, she's extremely flexible, but that one's got incredible touch and shape and skin. And we're just real comfortable with her pedigree as well. She's a Harlem Handshake, Losers Weepers Patron. That Patron doe is also original old school. That would be the mom of Coda's Reserve Grand Weather there at Louisville. So we love the pedigree. We love the generating ability here. I know ours are probably a little thin comparative to some. Reality is we think they're in perfect flesh to generate for you and to make you embryos, to breed, to make you progeny. So get in where you fit in on that one, lot 36, 4122.
Sorry, I was making notes here for our preview this evening. And what I'd say there, from a genetic standpoint, the bottom side of that is going extinct, and a guy better get some while you still can, and they've still got to have that look and build to progress. I like this doe a bunch. Lot 36, 4122 from Jaden Bowers. We'll talk our mock livestock lots coming next, and we'll have 3 does here and 2 genetic lots. Briefly, our genetic lots will be lot 14 and 15. We're selling a bred recip or pick, of our October due bred recips, and then our lot 15 will be buyer's pick up to 6 of our frozen embryo inventory. This particular doe here is lot 12. That she's a May 2023 born. Thought she told a good story with the setting and everything. We did a little bit of different, not going to lie, we're kind of on grow mode there at home. And so the yearling battery, we did select one last fall, which is the yearling we'll talk about here in a minute. But one of our main events of the year has kind of been our bred doe sale there in November. The 2 that we're selling here, 2 matures, for sure would have highlighted that, and we opted to not breed those 2 this summer for that bred doe sale. This is lot 12. She's out of Russian Princess, and then her mother would be Believe in Me's mom, which is actually a sister to Keep the Faith. The season that we made, I Am the Way and Believe in Me, we made a little bit of an investment there in that semen from Jamie, and then was able to rebreed Believe in Me's mom back to Russian here naturally. She actually had this one and then a sister. We have flushed them simultaneously to the same buck each twice, and we've kept daughters out of the same one. I can tell you the sister's black-headed. This one's brown-headed. You have not been able to tell a difference. You've had to flip the tag over to see which ones were which. We had some really, really nice kill the noises there last December out of this doe. We kept a couple of those daughters, sold a couple of them, and they kind of highlighted our doe sale set, and we kept some more out of her there. They're out of her this spring. Again, she's a mature May 2023 born Russian Princess out of Believe in Me's mom. Embryos have been real sticky. She hasn't been just a huge producer. I think she's made 9 total, 5 and 4. We've had 7 babies born out of those, but they've been very, very high quality, and we've kept some daughters, and that's when we thought we could cut loose of her. Total little different story. Lot 12, tag 23063. Try not to whip that flag quite so much. Well, especially if it's making them put their head down. It's either making them go up or down. It's making hers go down. The best part about her is her neck, and she had it down the whole time. Spooked from that flag, you know what I'm saying? I believe we got lot 13 coming next from Mock Livestock, the black-headed doe. This is a Keep the Faith. Her mom would be 2537, which was a yearling we bought from Blue Team there. Actually, our first one we bought from them. She'd actually be American Badass's grandmother. Jamie and then bought a doe kid from us in the pistol packing mamas last year out of her, and that's what makes American Badass. We've flushed this doe to Keep the Faith, I think, 3 times because they were so good every time. We did it again this last time, and if you look, Logan Rust has one that's been jackpot, and it's a full sib that has only been beat once or twice. And then a reserve grand doe at Tennessee State Fair this last week would be a full sib to these. Blaze's doe that wins Angelo in 24 was a full sister to this. Keep It Real, Drop It Livestock was a flush mate to this doe. And then Madden Wise's Champion Heavy at Phoenix 2 years ago would be a flush mate as well. This doe's done very, very well on the table for us. She's went 10 for 11 and 9 for 11. She kidded since her last flush. So she did have a spring baby for us, was an exceptional mother. We've kept several daughters of hers that her wethers have been high rent. She worked exceptional to Timeless. This last time, just as a breeding tip, I thought that worked really, really well. We've done her to Believe in Me also, and those were really, really good this spring. Again, lot 13, tag 2055. She has been flushed twice, goes 10 for 11 and 9 for 11, has kidded since her second flush. Keep the Faith, Shake and Bake, Rip's mom. I thought a real highlight doe out of our kind of younger, mature set there at home. Thought those two also, you know, kind of setting with Jamie and crew kind of hosting us here today. Thought that kind of fit the mold there with the story and having some blue team genetics kind of combined with some of our stuff in here. Lot 11, this is one that talk about, you know, kind of being hard to sell or hard to hold on to or whatever. This being our event, I will tell you that we kind of start identifying what's going to be our symposium lots last fall. This was a May-born doe kid. Last year, out of our 2113 donor, that doe, so 2113 would be a Harlem handshake on I'm the Way's mom. 2007, she'd be the mother of the grand weather at Houston. She'd be a flush mate sister to Coco's grand weather at Denver. And then 2007 also makes the reserve grand weather for Kenna there at the American Royal. Definitely a foundation piece for us. This is a Harlem. The mother to this one's a Harlem on 2007. Last year, we bred her naturally, took her to Makins and bred her to Burn, his kind of maiden voyage there. And this was her natural doe kid. She was a May, so she got a little young in the rotation for us to flush. And once we identified that, I talked to Megan and the kids and said, well, you know, we can just leave her out of the flush program in the fall and winter, and then we'll have to make the decision to leave her out in the summer so that we'd have a highlight yearling for the symposium. So here you go. She has been untouched reproductively. She's been on Littner 241 there at the house. She's a May of last year. Burned the boats, 2113. A ton of track record there on the backside of that pedigree. Had almost, a 7-8 sib. Another burn weather we had last year that was third overall, I guess, or reserve at the fall, at the spring American Royal. So our burns were really nice. This doe's got an awesome look. She's short-bladed and flexible and got a great big loin in her. But really proud of this one. Hope she gets a good home. Really expect high things. 2113, her mother would be the mom of our pistol packing doe kid there this summer. So she's still relevant. I saw that doe kid this last week and almost offered my pickup keys to buy her back. She sold really well there, but she didn't bring enough. So again, here's lot 11, tag 24077, Burn the Boats, Harlem, 2007. Good thing Kelsey's standing right here next to me. Looks like Pfeiffer Farms is coming up next in our rotation. And as they bring their two live lots up, want to make note of lot 5, their genetic lot that's going to sell tonight. We will talk through that more in detail there starting at 6 o'clock with our panel. But lot 5 is going to be 50% embryo production out of one of their lead donors, E2093. Make sure you listen in there at 6 o'clock to talk about that. Here's lot 6, tag E411 from Pfeiffer Farms.
Thanks, Kevin. So we normally have a little different game plan when it comes to coming to the sale. We got a little behind midsummer, and we did not get them out on feed like we planned to do. And we had a really good AI
go real well where we would normally get these does out of. Those are kid in November. So we went to the hill when we were weaning a set of goats there. I don't remember. Daniel might remember a couple weeks ago. And we went through and we picked out these 2 does. They did have babies. We did wean off of them. They were dry when we weaned them, so I don't know if their babies died or what happened, but these were dry whenever we weaned. We thought that these 2 that we brought were real nice. This is a hustler out of a Freedom daughter. Her mother sold the other day in the 4-year-old sale. Really, really unique mother. She was a Freedom Snoop Dogg. Her brothers would have sold at the Friday Night Fever. About that first year we had Freedom, and they sold really well. They were some of our highlights. I remember we were super proud of that one, and that Freedom buck died real young. We didn't get a lot of daughters out of him, but the ones we did get produced really well, and so far as we can tell, the daughters or the granddaughters of them are producing really well too. But this one's a hustler. Like I said, we bought that one from Cade Hoffman and that buck sale 3 or 4 years ago. Done a really good job for us. Still kicking, really turn him out and let him clean up. We love the daughters out of that thing, so we like to get as many as we can. But this one that we brought, we think just in terms of, like our write-up talked about, just totally complete. Not really anywhere you can find in that doe that you could say, well, you could say there's some that are stouter, this or that. We really like this one from the day that we put her on feed. So like everybody has talked about through here, Macon was talking about his only getting washed 1 time or 2 times. Same kind of deal. These got washed to get pictured, and they got washed today whenever Daniel washed them. They have not been pampered. They are straight off of the hill. They were running with about 200 head. So they were on feed for about 2 weeks. We really like this one, though. We think she'll go away from here and do real well. Her mother flushed really well for us as well.
Again, lot 6, tag E411, square backed, wide. That thing is exceptional just in squareness and density when you study her going away from you, and still does that with a neat looking throat and head carriage. I think this is a really nice doe. Kidded as a yearling, has not been flushed. I think that's actually, as somebody that kind of runs a repro center, I think we see a lot of those does that are at that point in their life that now they're ready to turn it on and go make big embryo numbers. So would expect that out of lot 6, E411 from Piper Farms. Then coming next from Piper Farms will be lot 7, E457. And when I saw these pictures, when Carissa sent the pictures over, and I seen the dual red front feet, the red front leg, and the cape, I was like, man, this thing is photogenic. She looks really, really nice out here running around. She's a full throttle juice, lot 7, E457 from Piper Farms.
Yeah, whenever we ran these things through, and we can tell, obviously, this one didn't nurse a baby quite as long as the other one, but she was off the same pin. Whenever we brought them in and they ran through in the back, we thought this one was definitely one that should come down. Really unique. That full throttle, we bought him from Jaden Bowers at the exclusive there 2-3 years ago. Did a real good job for us. We love the female side of that deal, how good he made his females. And they've produced really, really well. There was actually 2 full throttles in there, and the one that actually weaned a baby off of her, we elected not to bring. She got a little hard after we weaned the baby. But we really like this thing just in terms of squareness and body shape. And then when you get on the bottom side of her pedigree, you got Juice in there, and he doesn't really need much introduction. Really, really good one. We really like the females out of Juice. They've really have a high amount in the donor pin there at the house, and but really unique one. What's the tag on the other side? I know it's a Juice daughter. I can't remember the tag number. But red-legged one, really, really like this one a lot. Hard to get rid of one that looks like that. Hard to believe that she never made it into our donor pin, to be real honest. But we AI'd them as 8-month-old doe kids and got these, and we really like this one. Same deal. Had never been flushed. Bred as a yearling.
My notes on that thing, outside of being really neat looking and round bodied, she has got an absolutely huge hip and pin set. Again, if you need to add that or incorporate it, it's really, really hard to win without it these days. And I think this one has it. Lot 7, tag E457 from Piper Farms. I think our host might be up next. Is that right? With Blue Team Weathers, Jamie's going to talk his, and again, we came over as we have the last couple of years, I guess, at this event. Jamie and Blaze and I came through and sorted. Is Brax with us? I won't leave him out. He'll get mad. Jamie and Blaze and I came through and sorted through a bunch of these yearlings and looked at the set that was here, and they've had a really strong run there selling online the last couple of months. And he said, hey, I got something I want to show you over at Mom's house. And we went over and wasn't even out of the pickup door, and this doe runs out across the pen, and I just said to myself, I hope that's what we came to look at, and it was. This would be in your catalog, Lot 3, tag 24020 from Blue Team Weathers.
Thank you, Kevin. The mother to this 24020 is an extremely special individual. We've over the last 2 years of flushing her, she generated over 100,000 each year in those two flushes. Last year, I guess it was, the weather that we took to the Friday Night Fever sale that ended up being the Reserve Grand at Georgia. The same family had, the Welch family had champion and reserve champion there at Georgia that year in the weather show. And this one right here was one that they absolutely fell in love with, and we did too, and told them that one we had high aspirations for, and he did the job for her on her senior year. And this one here is just, she's special. Muscle shape in this one is absolutely wild. She's cocky. She's built right. The weather was Rip out of this one's mother, and sold for $45,000 at the Friday Night Fever sale. This one's out of Legend. And Legend females have been tremendous. Last year, Legend had a phenomenal year. He had more big banner winners than any other sire in the industry. Kevin and Trent, you look at when Kevin purchased the jump on Legend, and that made the Believe in Me and I Am the Way herd sires. He throws them just like kind of what you see in this female. Big legs, wild looking, and just tremendous touch. And we just felt like this one kind of embodied on what we try to do, what we try to put out there. And this one, like I said in the write-up, she's a beast when you handle her, and she's got a generating pedigree that's just worked with anything that we've crossed her on, and we think this one right here will go do something big for someone.
Well, again, that's Lot 3 in your catalog, ear tag 24020. I think when we said talked to preview or the Facebook Live check-in from here there a few weeks ago, I said statement piece, and it's again what I wrote on my catalog to say tonight. I think she is that, and she's a very, very nice doe right here. Lot 3. Not housebroke. She hit Blaze. He's still got swelling in his wrist. She hit him square in the chest there the other day, catching behind an oak tree. It's the rip. Okay, this will be Lot 4, tag 75 or 753A. Another one come from Mom's house there in town. Lot 4, tag 753A. You got to get on the Jaluvka boys a little bit, because this thing had 12 inches of flank hair that they cut out of her with them X blocks. But hey, this thing was absolutely woolly there in her natural state there a couple weeks ago. When we looked through this set of does, I thought she had big pieces. From personal standpoint, the rip does have worked really good for us as well.
When you look at the pedigree on this one, like you said, that's Rip, and Rip is a Fabio and a Soldier, which are both Who's Your Daddy's sons. And then when you look on the bottom side of this pedigree, you've got Black Friday, which we lost with about a half a breeding season in him, and he had 3 state fair champions that year in just a short period of time, but bred back to Fabio's sister. So Fabio's sister produced the Grand for us, for one of the ones that Hayden had that was shown at the American Royal. And then so when you look at the pedigree standpoint on this one, you're lining up the Who's Your Daddy side of things. You got 3 shots right here just directly in here in this lineup. And so he makes them hairy. He makes them wild-looking, big-footed, and just absolutely impeccable to the touch with that loin and transition. And like Kevin said, when we went and saw this one in person, she was just so shaggy, it was hard to see what rib shape and body shape was going to look like underneath there, but she is just absolutely wild. She's always been cocky, just keeps that head up, and that's the other thing that I love about Who's Your Daddy and the style and what we try to put in that design in that front 1/3 to where they just come right out of the top of their blades with a long, super extended neck and front end, and that one I think just stamps that look with her, and I think she is absolutely lined up for whatever buck you want to go with to keep that same look, bone, density, and just it makes your breeding lined up and easy to go with what you want to cross her out to.
Again, this is lot 4, tag 753A, Blue Team Weathers. That thing's, we'll talk about that tonight, but she handles like a medium wool sheep, just the consistency and spread of her back shape. Bringing the paint next, or what they got? Bell bottoms? Got bell bottoms coming next, lot 2, tag 2051. From Blue Team Weathers, and a doe that I got a chance to see a couple of times actually come and looked at yearlings and was looking forward to this one possibly being on that last yearling sale. And then the time that we went through to kind of figure out what we was going to sell at the Symposium, I just really thought she needed to sell in a live sale setting just from a uniqueness and pieces standpoint. But my notes in my phone said from the first time I saw her that this thing's got bell bottoms, and as big as her feet are and as much shag as she's got, she's definitely at the bottom side of her hair cycle from what she was probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I think this one's got some unique pieces. Let Jamie give his comments. Lot 2, 2051.
We were getting ready for an online sale with some of the yearlings, and when this one came out and looked at her, it's like, I told Dina, this one we don't need to put online. She needs to be where people can actually see the wild freak pieces that she has, because like Kevin said, man, she is absolutely crazy with the bone and the shag. But to me, the thing that makes her special is she does look like a medium wool sheep, and the extension up through that neck and that front end, and she is just pencil necked and just comes right out of the top of her blades, and she just gets out and just great set to her hock, tremendous body shape. She's just like with those other ones. When you go to handle this one's loin, it is wide, it is deep, it's all there, and she absolutely just moves like a gazelle. And it's the same thing we talked about, that other one that generated 2 years in a row over 100,000. This one right here, this past year, in the breeding season, she generated over 70,000 in sales herself, this one's mother. So not only are you looking at something that's just a really cool individual, but you can look at the pedigree and see that this one right here, mother has produced well, and ought to give you some confidence on going in and just taking your program with some consistency with building some unique breeding pieces.
Again, lot 2, tag 2051 from Blue Team Weathers. She's a Godwin, a good as gold Godwin XXX. There's a catalog misprint where her sire is not actually in the header bar there. I just noticed, but it is in the description. And then lot 1, we'll round out our live preview here. This would be a Drago daughter, lot 1, 24164. This is the chocolate-headed doe, as Jamie's referred to her there a couple of times in our discussions. I know she's got a big lineage on the bottom side of this that he'll tell us about. Lot 1, tag 24164, if she'll get down the lane.
This one right here, when she comes in, if we can get her in, she kind of likes that pin 1 versus the ring, but they are definitely not babied around here. They stay out in the pasture. We brought them up into the barn at first, and we thought about a couple of weeks ago and thought we'll try to get them ready. We decided we just kick them back in the pens and let them be goats, because that's where they're happiest at. This one's wild looking, moves like a gazelle. She will run. the Drago that she's out of, that one is one of the most unique bucks I think that we have here. He is just burly backed, huge legged, and if you've seen the video of him on the move, tremendous in how he gets out and move and just so elevated at the point of his shoulders. But the special side of this one here is the 2101 doe that one is out of. The 2101 doe is a shake and bake doe out of Knockout. That doe was showed by Kenna Gay. She was the champion doe at the Tulsa State Fair in 2021. We bred her to moose, and we made one that was the reserve champion overall at San Angelo this year. And then in the barn, we have a buck that we call Elon, which would be the fleshmate brother to the reserve grand at San Angelo this year as well. Monster back. When you saw the one that was at San Angelo, just absolutely huge paws. It's hard to make them any bigger footed and shaggier than what that one is. We were getting ready to bring one to the exclusive as far as one of the doe kids that were out of social distancing and on 2101 with moose as well. She kind of got injured right there before, and we had to pull her out. But that one was absolutely wild, like this one, in her body shape and design. And when you put your hands on her, she touches big, but she is just freaky, not only on how she moves, but just in her body shape. And I just love the extension, the design in that front 1/3 of her body to go along with it.
Why don't you let her out before she jumps and hangs a leg here? But that's lot 1, tag 24164 from Blue Team Weathers. Again, thank you all for joining us in our preview. We'll reconvene this evening at 5 o'clock at the Brownwood Event Center. Let me talk. Be quiet here. There you go. Got it grabbed. We'll reconvene at 5 o'clock this evening at the Brownwood Event Center for hospitality and social hour. We'll start the dissertation of the entire catalog at 6. Start the sale shortly after 7:30. Again, thanks everybody for being here. Thanks to the Blue Team crew for hosting us. Looking forward to an awesome night.